Hello, everyone. Welcome to KTAL News Now. I'm your host, Anthony Mocklin, and today is Wednesday, which means it is Wellness Wednesday here on the show. And we're going to be diving into a bunch of different health-related stories, as well as some education news later on. But first up involves the Salvation Army, who is celebrating their National Salvation Army Week across Northwest Louisiana, which is recognizing 160 years of service, helping families and individuals in need. And KTAL's Dan and Jackie Jovic have more.
The organization says that in 2025 alone, it provided more than 27,000 nights of shelter, served more than 134,000 meals, distributed hundreds of food boxes, and helped nearly 1,600 children receive Christmas presents across 8 parishes. Leaders say the week is imperative to recognize those who lend a helping hand to make those services possible year-round.
It is the week that we are reminded our community leaders, our partners, our donors, to remember the Salvation Army and to celebrate with us what the Army is doing 24/7, 365 days a year.
National Salvation Army Week runs through May the 17th, and you can learn more on volunteering or donating by visiting the Salvation Army of Northwest Louisiana and their website.
And for more information on that is on KTALnews.com. But in Shreveport, the Louisiana Department of Health recently gave an F to Shreveport's water grade for 2025. And Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenault plans to appeal some of the deductions that were made by the Department of Health, and as well as outline steps the city has taken to improve going forward. And KTAL's Grace Jensen shares more.
The city of Shreveport's water system has been given an F by the Louisiana Department of Health. City leaders stressed that the grade does not come from the quality of water coming from the tap, but the infrastructure.
Shreveport manages more than 1,100 miles of water lines, much of it aging. That reality weighs heavily on this grade.
Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenault explained in a press conference held on Monday that 15 points were deducted for TTHMs, or total trihalomethanes, a chemical disinfectant byproduct. Water and Sewerage Interim Director Brandon Sneed says there was an incident in June of last year that caused a high level of TTHMs. And although the issue was quickly fixed, it skewed the average for the rest of the year.
It's an average of quarters. And so because we exceeded that regulation for that quarter, it exceeded it for consequent quarters. And so we have one more violation notice to go out, and then that should drop off. And so next year we will not have that on our grading.
Moving forward with infrastructure updates, Mayor Arsenault says there are 3 active projects planned at the TL Amos Water Treatment Facility for summer 2026.
We are engaging with our consulting partners, Burns and McDonnell and others, to make sure that we are on pace to relieve the city of the issues that have crept into us for over 50 years.
And Arsenault ended up speaking with a senior engineer at LDH who said that he was praising the progress that the city has made in improving its water infrastructure, but the city remains firm that the tap water that people are drinking has always been safe. And for more information on that is on KTALnews.com. And over in Bossier City with Keep Bossier Beautiful, they are working to clean up anything they can regarding any litter or just making it beautiful as they can. And studies have shown that a clean city boosts the quality of life, local economies, and overall mental well-being of the residents that live there. And KTAL's Lynn Vance shares more.
If you don't like what you see in your neighborhood or your community, take action, take a step. It's easy.
Keep Bossier Beautiful is a volunteer organization that works to reduce litter, improve recycling, and enhance the beauty of Bossier Parish.
We have a multifaceted plan to where we work in the community with different agencies, different nonprofits, individuals, to try and engage individuals to help us in this work to make our parish clean and green.
Volunteers like Scott Lawson enjoy looking back on past successful projects like planting trees each Arbor Day.
It's something you can look back on 5, 10, 20 years down the road. I planted that tree. I helped make a difference in that community.
The beauty of a community can have a big impact on economic opportunities and jobs when we compete with other cities.
If people come and they see a dirty community and they've just maybe left a city in a neighboring state, they may not choose us.
Littering and illegal dumping are against the law, and you can report people who are violating Louisiana litter laws by calling 855-LA-LITTER.
Frustrating is an understatement, honestly, to see the litter, because it's a 100% preventable problem.
You can organize a cleanup for your neighborhood by contacting Keep Bossier Beautiful.
I'll give them all the supplies they need, grabbers, gloves, trash bags, and we'll take pictures of them after they do their cleanup and post them on our Facebook page and really just celebrate them for what they've done in their community.
Lynn Vance, NBC6.
And more information on that can be found at KTALnews.com. And then when it comes to bullying, this is something that impacts children and families in ways that often go unseen. And a local author and motivational speaker is looking to combat that through his anti-bullying book titled Bullying, Putting the Pieces Together. And KTAL's Mata Drain and Fernanda Hernandez got to speak with him to hear more.
Me growing up with one arm, to be honest, it was challenging because I knew I was different, and then the process, it made me feel sometimes inadequate to my peers. And in the process, I found myself not going unscathed from being teased and being picked on, and it turned me from a unique perspective. I went from being a victim to also being a bully in the process.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay then, well, you didn't let your circumstances or your condition, shape who you are today. You're actually a motivational speaker, and so I definitely want to touch on a part of your journey that was very special. You wanted to become an officer in DeSoto Parish. Talk about that journey for you and, how it turned out to shape who you are today.
Yes, well, what happened was my dream was to become a police officer. I worked for DeSoto Parish, and when I went to the police academy, I was going through the academy, but my last week I was getting rejected. I was getting rejected because I was breaking a stereotype, because I was born with one arm and there were no one-armed police officers. And God blessed me where I was successful, and I graduated from the police academy, and I became nationally recognized as the first person in the country with one arm to make that achievement.
That's wonderful.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we definitely want people at home to take advantage of the resource they have in you. So you offer a lot of great tools for families, including this new book about bullying. So you went through it yourself, and I was reading a bit of it here. You were saying that when you were in school and kids teased you for your arm, their words cut deeply, and you often came home in tears, overwhelmed by the hurt. Talk about how it made you feel, and how did your parents deal with it?
Well, it made me feel, it hurt my feelings. And it made me come home asking the question, why me? But my grandparents were the ones who raised me, and my grandmother said, hold your head up, boy, you're a Bristow. And what we say about you in here outweighs what they say about you out there in the community. So I was fortunate because I had a family that reinforced who I was on a daily basis. And I talk about that in the book because it's a tool. And that's the complexity of it. I mean, even when you look at the title of the cover of the book, the Rubik's Cube is why I did that, because there's no one answer for anything because it's complexity, and everybody's approach is different, but it can be mastered if we do apply it.
That's right, and I think it's really important for parents to know their role in bullying with kids, because they really are in control of a lot of the situations. Yes, your child may be bullying in school, but if you're not dealing with it at home, then it's just going to keep happening.
Right.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about whenever you became a bully of yourself, did your grandparents know that was going on? How did they address that?
Oh, they knew about it because my grandfather was the principal of the school.
Uh-oh.
Yes. At the time, I used to wear a prosthesis, so I had a prosthetic hook on the end of my arm. So I got labeled with a nickname, Captain Hook.
Oh, wow.
So since the kids wanted to call me Captain Hook, and that's the villain of the Peter Pan movie, I said, I'll live up to being the villain.
Wow.
So I started making sure the kids knew who I was. As far as the hook, I'd hook them, I would.
Wow.
But eventually, I realized I hooked the wrong person and I hurt them. Because the person I hooked was my cousin. And when I hooked my cousin, it occurred to me, you hurt more people close to you than you do anything else. And I try to bring that home where people understand that you don't hurt other people, you hurt yourself more in the process. So that was my turning point. And then I started mentoring kids, and they started asking, what can I do? And I started hearing the same thing. So that's what made me look at bullying, putting the piece together, because I wanted to give a tool. I didn't want to just be a read. I wanted to be something that you could walk away with, something you could take away and feel empowered in the process.
Yes. Now, another thing that you kind of highlighted was the fact that we're living in different times.
Yes.
Social media definitely plays a bigger role now in bullying. Talk to us about some of the things that you kind of highlight, and what are you saying to people about social media and the effects that it has on kids?
Well, dating myself, I was born in the 70s, so when bullying took place then, it ended at the school.
Right.
Or the playground, or the class that you had to just endure to get through. Now we're in the digital age. It never leaves. You can wake up to the trauma of it.
Right.
So what I always encourage parents is check behind your children. Yeah. You know, a lot of times they say, well, kids will be kids. We can't say that anymore, because what happens is when unfortunate circumstances take place, you already know there was a footprint leading back to whatever accumulated in the process.
That's right.
So what you have to do is don't ignore it, don't dismiss it, engage it, and be vulnerable with your children. I dealt with this growing up too, and here I am. Yes. You can succeed it too. So it's layered, but please open up, let them know that they can overcome it, let them know what you've gone through, and in the process we can create a better community.
Awesome. Okay. Well, you certainly have an impacting story. Before we go, quickly tell us the details of your book launching that's happening this weekend.
Yes, I'm going to be at the DeSoto Parish Library in Mansfield, 109 Crosby Street from 10 to 12. Please bring your kids out. We're going to do a seminar to talk to them about bullying and just empower them, let them leave feeling more empowered than before they came.
Yes. Now, if you would like to grab a copy of your book, it is available on his website, which we are seeing right there. What is that website, really quick?
The website is rashadbristow.net.
And for more information, visit KTALnews.com. Now, AMI Kids Caddo, or AMI Kids Caddo, is expanding their mission and operating in the school choice program, showing that they are much more than just an alternative school. And KTAL's Mata Drain and Fernanda Hernandez share more.
We have been known predominantly as an alternative program, receiving students through the district who have been expelled, things of that nature, sometimes through the judicial system. However, we've moved a little bit away from that now. We actually have parents who choose intentionally to bring their students to AMI Kids Caddo, whether it's that they've had previous students or their children to come to us, and they liked what actually happened there behaviorally and academically. So that's what we're moving towards now.
That's wonderful. We want parents to know, what approach do you guys take to education and what makes you different from a traditional school?
Well, what makes us different, first of all, is that we are middle school. That's number one, who actually is pushing a lot, some of our middle schoolers who are between the ages of 14, around 15, into our workforce program. So we have a Workforce Pathways program on our campus where we're actually getting students ready with job readiness. We're helping them write resumes. We're helping them, those who are actually 16, gain employment.
Awesome.
So that makes us a little different. Plus we have the smaller class size, individualized lessons. And we do work with the curriculum that is provided to us from Caddo, so that keeps us on track with what they're actually doing also. So yeah, we have a little different take on doing things over there.
Okay, I absolutely love that in middle school they're already thinking about their careers and, you know, the path that they will take, because when I was in that grade level, I was not thinking about that. I had like 10 careers that I wanted to take at that time. So I think that's absolutely amazing. So talk to us about the impact that you saw, you know, this program and your school have on the kids.
Well, for one thing, we know there's an impact because students, many of them don't want to leave. We have those that parents, as I stated, bring back not just the students that we have, but their additional siblings to the campus, because we are helping them with their behavior. We help giving them life skills, because beyond the classroom, students still need to know how to move forward successfully in the community. So that's what we're all about. We're trying to work with the whole child, the treatment side, the behavior side, and the academics. And we're able to do that more so, I'll say hands-on. We're able to see them because of the smaller class sizes.
Now, we've seen a lot of pictures of the kids getting to do a lot of really cool different activities. You guys are taking them on trips. Talk about some of the awesome things that they get to do.
Well, one thing that I absolutely love is the fact that we have staff who make sure that our students get involved in community service. Service from the heart is the thing that we use every year, and it's glad to see them out and about. They've actually went and they've read at the Ark for the little ones. Awesome. They have the opportunity to do challenges like this summer. You have the summer challenge that's actually in South Carolina. We are getting ready to take some students to in July to Florida for a marine dive challenge.
Wow.
Yes, and I just got back this week with some who we took to the Capitol. So the opportunities are there. A lot of times the students that we serve don't get the chance to see what's beyond Shreveport.
Yes.
And they were so excited. They were so excited.
That's awesome.
And you are offering them that opportunity there. I know later on in the summer you guys are going to have an open house.
That's
so
our
where
plan.
do they need to keep up with you to see that information?
Number one, I tell everyone, go to Facebook. AMI Kids KTAL, share, like, go there, see everything that we're doing. And they can reach out to me that way. Okay. In addition, they can reach out to me at this phone number, which is 318-364-5287. Ask for Shalillian McKnight, ask for myself, and just come by. Our doors are open. People take tours. They're not closed. I want you to actually come and see what's happening on campus. So just call, schedule an appointment, and stop by.
And you can visit KTALnews.com to learn more. And as far as mental health goes, when it comes to social media, there are plenty of signs to look for, as well as how to have that conversation with someone who you think might be going through something mentally. And KTAL's Grace Jensen spoke with a psychiatrist to hear more.
Signs that someone may be struggling with their mental health include changes in sleeping patterns, eating habits, and extreme mood changes. In the age of social media, signs can be seen in the posts on someone's timeline. Dr. Smink Sangsura, a psychiatrist with Ochsner LSU Health, says those signs can include an abrupt change in the style, tone, or subject matter.
And frequently these days you may see very nihilistic memes or things coming to nothing, or references to songs or media, and that's part of their background where it hasn't been.
If you are growing concerned for a loved one, the first step would be to reach out either in person or via text or phone call to start that conversation. Dr. Sangsura says if there is an immediate safety concern, you can contact the police to perform a welfare check.
And that's one of the things that has helped save some of my patients, is that someone cared enough to have someone check on them. And sometimes just knowing that people are there can really help out.
And if a loved one is not open to having a conversation about their mental health, Dr. Sangsura notes that letting the person know that you are there for them is equally as important.
But know that you're not necessarily their therapist. The idea here is that you can help encourage them and potentially offer to help bridge some of those gaps. Like, hey, if you need to, I will help bring you to that appointment, or take some time off to be with you for a period of time.
And Dr. Sangsura says the community is like a safety net that helps protect people around you and to know that they care about you. And he also wanted to stress that the 988 National Crisis Hotline is available 24/7 via call or text. But for more information, visit KTALnews.com. And I know spring is starting to wrap up a little bit. We're in May now. But if you're still looking to get some spring cleaning done, hear from Helen Cristoni, who is a wellness expert with all the tips you need this spring.
My name is Helen Cristoni, and I'm Senior Vice President of a company called Ideal Living. In Ideal Living, we have a lot of things that purify your home. We have our Air Doctor air purifiers, and also our AquaChew water purifiers that really help making sure we're taking all the hidden contaminants out of your home.
And And when it comes to home surfaces, it's not just about cleaning like the counters and the tabletops and everything. It's also about the air and water that is like throughout your home. Could you tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. So, it's spring cleaning time. Everyone's doing a thorough once over on your home. And it's so important when we do this that we remember that it's sometimes the things that we cannot see that could be really having the worst effect on our health. So for instance, our air quality inside our homes can be 100 times more contaminated than the air outside. And actually, when we're cleaning, we can be kicking up the stuff that's affecting our allergies, our ability to sleep well, people who suffer from asthma, et cetera. So really important that we're purifying our air and also our water.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, they might think their house is clean, but there are a lot of those, hidden pollutants like you were talking about. What are some of, the biggest ones to be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, everything that we bring into our home is contaminating it. So we have our furniture, we have our cleaning products, even our cleaning products can be wreaking havoc on our health. And so it's super important that when you're cleaning, if you're doing a deep clean, you're using big chemicals, that you have an air purifier going. At AeroDoctor, we really recommend that when you're cleaning the house, you turn it up on high so we can help, like, purify all the contaminants that you're putting in the air when you're cleaning. And our homes are really just cesspools of mold, gases. I think gases is a really big topic. We don't talk about it enough. Every time we turn on our gas stove, we're like putting all these gases and emissions into our air. And now that, stoves are so powerful, it's really important that we're purifying that out. And then also, we cannot open a news story without learning about microplastics. We're not only drinking them in our water, we're breathing them in our air. So it's super important that you're purifying both at the sink level and also at the air level.
And for people who are dealing with seasonal allergies, what sort of changes can they make to make their home feel better?
I think when you suffer from seasonal allergies, it's really important that you're vacuuming a lot. People that understand how much you actually have to vacuum to pull contaminants out of the air, especially dust, pollen, irritants, it's going to affect someone with allergies. So I think kind of like triple your vacuuming. If you vacuum once a week, you might want to do it a couple more times. And like I said earlier, if you have an air purifier at home, run it on high. Also, make sure that you're sleeping in your bedroom with an air purifier. This is going to work wonders on your health if you suffer from allergies.
And I guess situationally, like I know there are some cases where we should just open the windows versus keep them closed with a purifier. I guess what are the scenarios where each would apply?
Look, if it's a beautiful day, it's super important that you open your windows, you let in the fresh air, and you get some of that fresh air in the house. But, just knowing that, indoor air, everything that's outside is coming inside. So if you live near a roadway, a major highway, all the, contaminants and exhaust from those roads gets pumped into our homes and it gets stuck here. And these are volatile organic compounds. And so these are very important to remove out of your air. And it's super important that when you select an air purifier, that you go one that has a really great VOC carbon filter like we have at AirDoctor. So it's really important that you're addressing not only the pollen, the dust, the pet dander, but also these VOCs that are being brought into our house from the roadways outside.
And is there a way for people to like check the air quality to see like which one is right for them?
Sure. I mean, you can check your air report. And I think it's important to know that air reports really are addressing smog, also, the pollen counts and that sort of levels. But inside our homes, it's really hard to measure what we've got going on in our homes. And so, a good rule of thumb is to have air purifiers where you sleep and where you gather.
And if somebody wanted to start making some changes like right away, like what are a few like easy, clean home purchases that you would recommend?
Sure. I mean, for sure, you want to, well, first of all, look under your sink. Make sure you're removing things that have chemicals little by little. It's a really good place to start. Another thing is ditch the plastic. It used to be we were worried about dust and pollen. Now we're worried about microplastics and volatile organic compounds. So I think for one point, make sure, like I said, that you have an air purifier like AirDoctor in your bedroom where you sleep. And then also, please make sure you're purifying your water. At AquaTrue, our AquaTrue removes 84 contaminants from water. And people don't know that when you cook, contaminants don't boil out. And so it's so important. Two things that we can do is purifying our water with a reverse osmosis system like AquaTrue and purifying our air with a really, really great AirDoctor. And your health and your family will thank you for it.
And what are some other common mistakes that people make when it comes to clean living at home?
Oh gosh, candles is a big offender. Everyone loves to light a candle, and a lot of these beautiful, expensive candles are made from food grade paraben. That is petroleum. Get them out of your house. So I think at this time of year, like I said, it's a really good idea to check your labels. If you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't be using it. And there's all kinds of healthy cleaning alternatives out there. And, like organic essential oils and beautiful, beautiful candles made with coconut wax. They're a little healthier than a lot of the really, really popular ones that you find in stores these days.
And for people who are pretty busy throughout their day to day, what are some like very quick ways they can implement these new things to improve their quality and just way of living?
Gosh, I think like number one, just stop reaching for plastic. Nowadays, today, we're all worried about microplastics. And if you simply just stop drinking out of plastic containers, you're going to be able to reduce your microplastic intake by like 90%. So that's the number one thing you can do. Just stop reaching for the plastic, reaching for the glass. And I really think the number one important thing that you can do for your health is sleep with an air purifier in your room. That way, when your body and your lymphatic system is detoxing at night, you're breathing pure air and you're detoxing instead of retoxing.
And where can people find more information and resources that are available?
Sure, you can go ahead and you can find us at airdoctor.com and aquachoop.com, and you can always reach out to me at Helen Cristone.
And is there anything that we didn't cover today that you wanted to touch a little bit more on?
No, enjoy your spring break, everybody. I'm so excited to be on with you. And remember, you want pure air where you sleep and where you gather.
And for more information, that is on KTALnews.com. But that is all I have today for today's edition of Wellness Wednesday. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our weekend events segment on Thursday at 1 p.m. But we stream every day, Monday through Friday, on KTAL News Now. But for now, I'm Anthony Mocklin. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you for joining us.